piece of inspiration. So Charles, why don't you share what TourWrist is all about?
Thanks. I'd like to take a minute just to summarize a couple of points. We've all heard how important mobile is and how important social is. I think it's worth noting in particular as I share our vision for the future that we recognize that by the end of next year, half of all traffic to travel websites will originate from mobile devices, and this will constitute $26 billion in bookings. That's awesome. The reason for that is because these little mobile devices aren't just some subset of computers. They are the future of computers. They are more powerful than desktop or laptop computers. And I'm not talking about processing power. I'm talking about making us nearly superhuman. They give us the abilities to be more effective in our personal and professional lives. Personally, we're able to connect with our friends and family more often and share experiences with them. Professionally, they give us the opportunity to make more confident decisions when and where it matters. What's really interesting, though, is what's happening in the personal space. We've heard everyone today talk about how we're creating this content. First thing I did when I got here was I broke out my phone and I started sharing the experience. We do this for a couple of reasons. One is that we hope to be able to memorialize the experience. This is our modern journal. We also do it, if we're being honest, because there's a degree of ego involved. When there's something great about our life, we want our friends and family to know. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think when we recognize that, we have the opportunity to tap into it as travel industry professionals. So these travelers, that's what they're doing. They're sharing their photos, their words, their experiences, their tweets, all via Facebook and Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. And what's really interesting is that this is marketing gold. This is the best endorsement that a travel brand could possibly have. And yet there's this huge disconnect between what we as hoteliers and travel industry professionals are paying to create and what the consumers are naturally creating themselves. It's a paid advertisement on one end of the spectrum, and it's a volunteered endorsement on the other. And the question is, how do you bridge that gap? Well, there have been, for the last 15 years, there have been two well-recognized media options. There's photos and there's video. There's also been sort of the red-headed stepchild in the group, that's virtual tours. Everybody hates virtual tours. They're pretty much universally hated because this is what we've come to expect from them. You encounter a coffee cup or a puzzle piece. You have to install Flash, Silverlight, QuickTime, Java, something. You restart your browser, and when you do, you still have unintuitive controls. You've got floor plans that cover your screen. You're lucky if you actually get a virtual tour because oftentimes you get a slideshow. It's as if Ken Burns, with this sort of zooming in sliding effect, invented virtual tours. Done correctly, virtual tours actually can yield a 67% increase in bookings. I'll say that again. 67% increase in bookings if you leverage a virtual tour correctly. But virtual tours were not made for the modern era. They're all delivered on Flash for the most part. We as a company set our sights on doing things a little bit differently. Unlike photos or video, which are cropped and curated, we let you explore inside at your own leisure, to know that there's no smoke and mirrors, to be able to go and check out all the different parts of these beautiful destinations. This is the Venetian in Las Vegas, one of the TourWrist clients. Let me show you another one. Let's look at the Radiance of the Seas. This is Royal Caribbean, another TourWrist client, as it is just passing Hubbard Glacier. Now, I get seasick, so I'm not going to spend too long here. But what an incredible experience. I mean, this is what it's all about. Travel is about joy. And I feel like we're not expressing that enough over the last couple of days from what I've sat in. There's a magic when you land somewhere really cool, even if it's for business. We need to make sure that we don't lose that delight. And when you're helping people make their travel decisions, it's really, really important that we capture that. Done correctly, virtual tours will increase the average session time on a website from 2 minutes to 20 minutes, statistically. Now, this was shot by TourWrist professional photographer 360i Tours. We own and operate the world's largest professional panoramic photographer community. What interests me more is what non-professionals can do. I'm not a professional. I'm far from it. And I shot this poolside when I got here. I didn't shoot this for the presentation. I actually changed the second half of my presentation. But I thought it worth showing that this now lives online. And this will, over the course of the next few years, get over 100,000 impressions. We had a gentleman put up a recording of Mecca with permission recently, and it's reached 3 million views in a very short period of time. Across the street, this is the Emirates Palace. This is shot with my cell phone using our proprietary spherical capture solution. We have the world's first continuous capture solution. Let me explain what that means for spherical photography. If you have one of the latest generations of iPhones, then you've potentially used the panorama mode, which lets you scan left to right. It's very, very cool, but it's rectangular. It's not cylindrical, and it's definitely not spherical. We as a company, we have 18 pending patents. We're innovating all the time. And one of the ways that we innovated, we said it has to be really, really easy to create this content. So we give you the ability to record a panorama like you would record a video, and we do all the hard work for you. You don't have to stop and take different pictures. We're also going to be announcing solutions later this year where you have a product. There's a number of options where you can record the entire environment in one action, in 1 second, and have it be uploaded for you. So there's an exciting future here. It's about breaking down the walls not only for viewing content, but for creating it. On the viewing side, we deliver via HTML5, Flash, iOS, and Android. Here's one more. This is the dome inside. So my point behind all this is that I got excited when I went in here. I was blown away. And that's kind of the point. I'm here on a business trip. I'm not recording this. I'm not paid by anyone to create this content. And yet, even for all its flaws, this content is more valuable than anything that this destination could pay for, because it's now going to live out there and facilitate that dialogue. We need to help people convey their enthusiasm when they're excited about destinations. And I thank you for letting me share my enthusiasm.
So this content is just so amazing, but what I love most about it is just how easy it is to capture it. And anyone with a phone can just go like this. And that's basically what it is, right? You just point it and collect it. So, Lee, Facebook being the most popular place to share photos,
yep.
What's this interaction going to be like? When is it happening?
I think probably soon is the answer. I mean, we're innovating all the time. We want to make the user experience better. Right now, we have photos. We will innovate around that and make that more user friendly. If the user demands video, then we'll go in that direction.
I think it's about time to wrap up. But I'd like to ask one last question. I always like to think sort of forward. So we think about the Global Summit in 2023. What is it that this panel, this technology panel, will be talking about? What is the technology that is going to be in our minds and on our brains 10 years from now? Jenna?
I think there are two things I can be sure about. One is that the travel technology and travel will move towards the earlier stage of travel. Today, the entry point for travel are majorly booking portals like OTAs or travel search company like us. And tomorrow, or in 10 years ago, it could be start with the dreaming part or the research part. And then the second thing is, as other panelists have mentioned, technology is just the mean to the end. Today, we all use smartphones. Tomorrow, we might use Google Glass or Siri. It doesn't matter what kind of technology we're using, just to resonate what you said at the beginning of the panel. Travel, I believe, will become much more humanized and personalized than ever. Lee?
I think, look, innovation will be driven by device adoption. I think there's still a long way to go with smartphones. I think they'll become even smarter. But in 10 years, who knows? Maybe Google Glass will get adoption. Maybe the rumored Apple iWatch will get adoption. Let's see.
All right.
Yeah, I think personalization will have reached a point where it really is having a much stronger impact on the way we, the entire travel cycle. And I'm also excited about self-driving cars.
I'm reminded of a YouTube video where a baby took a magazine and was trying to treat it like an iPad. She was dragging, and it was really frustrating because it wasn't responding. I don't know about 10 years, but say 15, 20 years down the road, I think that people will be frustrated by photos that are cropped. It will remind them of trickery. And I look forward to that future. I can say we've been the #1 travel iPad app in 80 countries. I think it's because people are excited by what this type of medium holds.
Fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.